Hi, and thank you for visiting my channel. For more information, kindly subscribe and follow. Now let's get started. Solo Sikoa and the rest of the Bloodline continue to assert their dominance on WWE SmackDown. After destroying Roman Reigns and Jey Uso once again last night, the self-proclaimed tribal chief sent a one-word message to his brother, Jey Uso. On the latest episode of SmackDown, reigning Intercontinental Champion Jey Uso confronted the Bloodline, which consists of Solo, Tama Tonga, Tanga Loa, and Jacob Fatu, just days after turning down Jey Uso's proposal for a reunion on Raw. The Yeet Master reminded Sikoa that the Ula Fala is earned, not taken, and told his younger brother not to divide the family. Solo then asked Jey whether he was in or out. The segment ended with Jey questioning why Sikoa had to bring in Jacob Fatu and the Tongans, whom the original Bloodline stayed away from in WWE. Shortly after, Jey Uso bumped into Roman Reigns and Jey Uso backstage, where the original tribal chief told his cousin that he was proud of him. The Yeet Master responded by saying, "No YEET," seemingly refusing to reconcile. During the main event, Reigns and Sikoa came face-to-face in the ring to exchange some words. Solo asked Roman to acknowledge him as his tribal chief, but the former undisputed WWE Universal Champion refused to do so. This forced Jacob Fatu, Tama Tonga, and Tanga Loa to drag Jey Uso out from the back. A sudden brawl then broke out between Reigns and the rest of the Bloodline members. The numbers game once again caught up to the head of the table as he ended up taking a low blow followed by a Samoan spike from his cousin. After the show, Solo Sikoa took to his Instagram stories to share a message for Jey Uso. Will WWE superstar Solo Sikoa make things personal with Jey Uso? Despite making clear that he wants nothing to do with the ongoing Bloodline drama, Jey Uso may have made a mistake by sticking his nose in Solo Sikoa's business. The Yeet Master warned Solo that the next time he would see him, things would be different. Jey Uso is all set to defend his Intercontinental Championship against Braun Breaker on Monday Night Raw next week. It will be interesting to see if the Bloodline will cause any interference during the match. If that happens, fans could expect to see the original Bloodline get back on the same page in time for the Survivor Series, War Games Premium live event this year. On a night where chaos reigned supreme on WWE SmackDown, the Bloodline imploded in a way that no one saw coming. The long-running family saga took another dramatic turn, leaving the wrestling world in shock and paving the way for new alliances and betrayals that could shake the foundation of WWE forever. The night began as it often did with Roman Reigns walking out to the ring, flanked by Paul Heyman and Jey Uso. The tribal chief held his WWE Undisputed Universal Championship high in the air, a smug look etched across his face as the crowd alternated between cheers and boos. It was the face of a man who had ruled over SmackDown for over 3 years, untouchable and untamable. Jimmy, who had been welcomed back into the fold after betraying his brother Jey at SummerSlam, stood by Reigns' side, clearly feeling the weight of his decision. His eyes darted around the arena, but he forced a smile, trying to mask the inner turmoil. But everyone knew it, something was brewing. Just as Roman began speaking, the Titantron flashed, and the familiar theme of Solo Sikoa hit. The crowd erupted as the menacing figure of Solo appeared, walking with purpose toward the ring. His silence was deafening, but his mere presence was enough to shake up the atmosphere. Solo had been the loyal enforcer, the unwavering member of the Bloodline who always stood behind Roman. But tonight, something was different. There was no acknowledgement, no nod of respect from Roman Reigns. Instead, a tension lingered in the air, as if something unsaid was simmering under the surface. As Solo entered the ring, Paul Heyman's face contorted with concern, sensing the undercurrent of hostility that Solo carried with him. Reigns, too, felt it but remained stoic, refusing to acknowledge the growing divide. Before Roman could ask for a mic to regain control of the situation, the arena erupted once more. This time, it was Jey Uso's theme that blasted through the speakers, sending the crowd into a frenzy. The former right-hand man of Roman Reigns, the man who had been betrayed by his own twin brother Jimmy, was back. Jey marched down to the ring, his expression a mix of anger and determination. He didn't stop at the top of the ramp. He didn't wait. Jey stormed into the ring, grabbing a mic and cutting straight to the point. "Roman, Jimmy, you think this is over? You think you can keep doing this?" "Nah, not anymore." Roman smirked, confident that his control over the bloodline was still intact. "Jey, you're standing here all alone. You walked away, remember? You quit. You gave up your seat at the table." Jey took a deep breath, his chest heaving with frustration. "You're right. I did quit the bloodline. But I didn't quit this fight." Before Roman could respond, Solo stepped forward, standing between Jey and Roman, his eyes locked onto Jey's. The tension was palpable as the crowd quieted, unsure of what was about to unfold. Was Solo going to defend Roman as he always had, or was something bigger at play? In a shocking move, Solo turned to Roman and, without warning, leveled him with a thunderous Samoan spike. The crowd gasped in disbelief. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, the head of the table, had just been taken down by his own enforcer. The shockwave didn't stop there. As Jimmy tried to rush to Roman's aid, Solo caught him mid-stride and hit him with another devastating Samoan spike. Jimmy collapsed next to Roman, leaving the once dominant duo in a heap in the middle of the ring. Paul Heyman stood frozen outside the ring, his hand covering his mouth as if he couldn't believe what he was seeing. For the first time in years, the bloodline was fractured beyond recognition. Solo, standing tall above the fallen Roman and Jimmy, looked down at Jey. He didn't speak. He didn't need to. Instead, he walked to the corner of the ring, picked up a microphone, and in the midst of the chaos, turned toward Jey. With the entire WWE universe watching in anticipation, Solo simply said one word, "Brother." Jey's expression softened for just a moment as he stared at Solo. The word carried weight, more than anyone could have imagined. It was a reminder of their bond, of their shared bloodline, of their history that went beyond Roman's manipulation. Jey nodded slowly, understanding what Solo was saying without the need for more words. There was no need for long explanations or dramatic speeches. Solo's message was clear: it was time to rewrite the story. The bloodline was no longer about Roman Reigns and his rule over SmackDown. It was about the true brothers, about family, not domination. The crowd, still processing the shocking turn of events, erupted into chants of USO. USO, as Jey and Solo stood united, their eyes trained on the fallen Roman and Jimmy. The reign of the tribal chief had taken a devastating blow, and no one could predict what would happen next. As SmackDown went off the air, the image of Solo and Jey standing tall while Roman and Jimmy lay broken on the mat was a symbolic passing of the torch. The era of Roman's dominance appeared to be crumbling, and the future of the bloodline now lay in the hands of Jey Uso and Solo Sikoa. In the days following SmackDown, the WWE Universe was abuzz with speculation. What would this new alliance between Jey and Solo mean for the bloodline? Would Roman Reigns seek revenge, or was his reign truly over? And what of Jimmy Uso, caught in the middle of a war between his brothers? Social media exploded with reactions, with fans declaring that the fall of Roman Reigns had finally begun. Meanwhile, WWE's next major event loomed on the horizon, and the wrestling world waited with bated breath to see how the fallout from this betrayal would unfold. One thing was certain: the bloodline was forever changed, and the wrestling world would never be the same again. Solo's one-word message to Jey had opened the door to a new chapter, one where brotherhood, not power, would reign supreme.